Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here, back with some more of our Expeditions Rome. We're gonna talk to our people here.
I have wanted to come to Rome for so long. I am almost nervous now.
Before we cross the Rubicon. Um, it's a splendid sight. I'm sure you'll love it. There's no place like Rome in the whole world.
That is what everyone says. Now I get to see it for myself. I'll let you know if I agree. You are happy to be home?
I'm happy I'll get to see my family again. They are what makes this city my home.
They will be quite happy to see you again, I bet. I have no place to stay, of course. I can stay in your home, maybe. Just for now.
I'll be happy to let you stay at my villa for as long as you wish.
That is generous. Thank you. I will try to find a place for myself, but it is good to know there is no rush.
Are you planning to stay in Rome in the long term?
We will see. Maybe I will hate it. Then I will have to go and find someplace else to be. But I think I will want to stay. If I can find a place to live.
You might draw a lot of attention in Rome.
You think it will be bad? Maybe you can help me buy nice Roman stola. Then I will fit in. Right?
It might take a little more than that. Not many Roman women look like they could wrestle a bull into submission.
At least I will not receive unwanted advances, I guess.
This is true. Rome loves gladiators. You can make a good living in the arena.
Why would I want to keep fighting when I don't have to? Fighting is a necessity of life. It is not sport. I
True.
did not come to Rome to keep fighting.
Talk later.
Hey,
Aren't you glad we're back?
not really. I like it better out there.
Really? Why?
I don't know. People. There's a lot of people in Rome. I'm not a people person.
You know you don't have to do this. You can stay out here.
Maybe I will.
You look a bit weird.
Oh, thanks. Just what every girl hopes to hear. I don't want to return. I don't even know where to go. This is the first time I'm back home.
You're always welcome to come stay with me in the villa if you need a place.
I appreciate that, but I'd better not. I don't want to depend on someone else. I've seen how badly that can turn out. But I appreciate the offer, really.
Maybe I can help you get your own home back then.
Doubtful. But I'll keep it in mind.
How did you like Asia?
Good weather, nice food. What's not to like? And you've got what you wanted too.
Came at the cost of many Roman lives.
Romans are born to serve the Republic, and to die for her if necessary.
Okay.
What
You're
is it
not
about
wrong,
you?
but that is very gruesome way to think of it. Seem discontent.
It is an action that bothers me. Idleness corrodes the warrior's mind.
Life is not a series of battles. Cherish the quiet moments. There will always be a war.
It is in the quiet moments a warrior dies. I would rather stay alert.
This is true. So what will you do now? Is there someone waiting for you?
There was, but not in Rome. I had a sister once, although sometimes I question my own sanity. Did she truly exist, or did I merely dream of her?
Aristocles teaches us that one may never truly know. We live chained inside a cave, staring at the shadows on a wall.
None can chain Bestia Tabat anymore. I will find out where my sister is.
How did you come to be separated?
We were both sold as children. She fetched a higher price than I, for she was better in every way than I was. I do not know what became of her.
Perhaps we can find her together after my work at the Senate is done.
I shall consider your offer.
We shall help you find your sister, Bestia. Failing that, we shall prove her existence or the lack thereof.
What do you think about the campaign?
You are a capable commander. Mercy is your weakness. Your enemies exist as long as they survive.
In some situations, you need an enemy alive to achieve a greater victory.
Can't think of any situation like you mentioned.
It will. It will. Can't take over Rome in a day.
Welcome home, Domine.
Are you happy to be back?
More than happy. Although it was nice to be back in my homeland once again, I find it quite impossible to not miss Rome. All I need now is a change of clothes and a day trip to the library.
I'll see to it that you get whatever you need.
Much appreciated. It was good to be back in action, but now my old bones are in dire need of some rest.
What's the first thing you want to do?
To see your mother. I'm sure she's anxious to know we've arrived.
All in good time. Visitor now might endanger her life.
That is a wise decision indeed. I shall temper my concern.
All in all, this campaign went well, I'd say.
It appears we have everything we need against Vitellius Scaevola. But keep in mind, appearances can be deceiving.
This is true. I'll try to keep that in mind.
I know you will.
Legate,
Are you feeling well?
I always get this weird feeling when I'm back. Like I've left something of mine behind out there.
I could use a warm bath.
Now there's a thought. That masseuse from Lutetia. I wonder if she's still around. Brilliant idea, Legate.
So, this is it then? What we do now?
You know what? For once, I'll do nothing. Nothing at all. And it will be glorious.
Need to get back to my home, but after I might join you in a pursuit of for nothing.
A word of warning, Legate. My nothing involves a lot of debauchery and degeneracy.
I've earned the right to experience the finest debauchery Rome has to offer.
In that case, we have a compact. As they say in Rome, live with Caeso, live your life.
And who are they? The people who say that?
You know, people say that. I'm sure I've heard some people saying that.
Is it alright back in the east?
Couldn't be better. We have conquered Asia, and you have all the evidence you need to put that traitorous Vitellius Scaevola behind bars.
See you later. Okay, so is that everyone? That looks like everyone.
Away, Lucullus and his victorious legion. Welcome home.
Salve, Vitus. It is good to be home again. I'm looking forward to a nice bath and a flask of good Carthaginian wine. Maybe two.
May I humbly recommend Vipsanius Marcellus' new batch? People say it's heavenly.
Ah, your recommendations never fail to impress. Do address the legatus, though. This victory was of his doing more than mine.
My apologies, Legate. I neither know nor recognize you.
The council overstates my contribution. What I did for Rome, not for recognition.
Nonsense. It is high praise from the consul. Now, let us conclude our business. The consul seems to attribute the success of this campaign to you, Legate. Thus it is your duty to formally disband the legion and relinquish your weapons. Beyond this river lies the Pomerium, and not even a victorious imperator can cross it bearing arms.
Do you understand? You know what? This campaign, we will play by the rules right now. We are just a lowly imperator, so. Do you understand? We will, of course, obey the rules.
Our laws are what separates us from animals. You have given up your command, but you have retained your virtue. You can always get your command back when Rome needs you again.
You have taught me much, Patron. Trone. I owe you everything.
Ah, you overstate my influence. It is easy to make a sharp sword out of good steel. The River Rubicon marks the sacred line where you stop being a warrior. It is time you learn how you may conquer a more civilized battleground. We shall meet at my villa in 2 nights. There are people I want you to meet prior to the Senate hearing. We must get your villa back somehow. Do not worry about your favorite gladius. Your war gear will be kept safely in my summer villa outside the city.
Okay.
I hope you are hungry, Domine. Lucullus is known for his lavish feasts. Do not eat anything until I've tasted it first. I wouldn't put it past the Vitellius brothers to poison this entire party just to get you and Lucullus.
What are we doing here? Shouldn't we prepare ourselves for the Senate hearing?
I am sure Dominus Lucullus has a reason and a plan. I would play along.
Okay,
My
yeah.
personal mission tonight is to taste each and every single dish. You may have to roll me home.
Who's in attendance?
I see that Julius Cicero and Pompeius Cato are both here tonight. They are highly esteemed senators of the Optimatus faction.
Cicero. Famous advocate Cicero?
The very same. He is an orator of unmatched skill. He was trained in Greece, you know.
I had some kind of weapon on me.
To what end? A blade would not help against poison.
This is true. Alright, I'm going in. Wish me luck.
May Fortuna smile on you, Domine. I'll be here if you need me.
Here we go.
Right on time. Just like a proper legatus. Welcome, son. After this long and arduous campaign, a feast is all you need.
Where do I get my villa back? Have a feast there.
All in due time. All in due time. Now, divert your attention to our guests. This is more important than you think.
Shouldn't we be preparing for the Senate?
We should, and we are. This is our preparation. The guests in this party were not randomly chosen. Our success largely depends on your conduct tonight.
Who are these people?
Well, you know Marcus Minucius Thermus. He's still thankful for your timely assistance and the saving of his life.
Okay.
You probably remember Marcus Aurelius Cotta as well. He seems to have brought his siblings, Lucius and Aurelia Cotta. The gentleman in the corner is Marcus Tullius Cicero. Making his acquaintance should prove to be very useful for you. I plan for him to become your advocate tomorrow. Last but not least, I've also invited Marcus Porcius Cato, who may or may not represent you as well. You see why it was important for you to be here.
Anything specific I should do?
I think not. Just be your charming self and try to win them over. And please relax. You have defeated an army of rebel pirates. This is a simple dinner party.
You're right as always.
Of course I am. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Alright, I'll go and mingle.
Be sure to join us at the table before you leave. I'd like to introduce you to Cato myself. And smile. And do not walk like you have just swallowed a measuring pole.
Ah, it's good to see you again. Have some wine.
You look well, Thermus. Have you recovered yet?
My leg still hurts every now and then, and all this rain isn't helping. That is nothing compared to what could have been. You have my eternal gratitude.
Gratitude is unnecessary. I was, Here we go. It was the least I could do to save a commanding officer. There's still a lot I can learn from you.
Much appreciated. But I am eager to return to my propraetorship in Asia. With any luck, Rome will never have need of me again.
Do you have any opinions on my impending Senate hearing?
It is pretty much out of my hands. I'd follow your Patronus's lead. Lucullus is a smart man who usually has a few backup plans. I understand you have all the evidence you need to expose Vitellius Scaevola. It's a strong position. Nevertheless, I would advise caution. Vitellius Scaevola, and especially his brother Lurko, are ruthless and cunning. Expect the unexpected.
I'm expecting something insane. Do you know all of these people?
Only those who matter. Be careful around Cotta. He's still reeling somewhat from the damage that was done to his pride.
Who saved his life?
To a man like Cotta, an honorable death would have been preferable to a humiliating near miss.
Okay, I'll remember that. I'll leave you to your wine.
Look, that young man there. I think that's him.
Really? He looks barely old enough to wipe his own arse, let alone command a legion.
If Lucullus says he won the war, then I have no choice but to believe it.
Is Pompeius Magnus not coming tonight?
He's in Hispania, I believe.
Shit. Oh, I thought this was my chance to win his patronage.
Of course. The savior of the legions, Lucullus Wonderkid. I knew you would be here.
Your powers of divination truly have no equal.
Don't give me that infuriating smirk. Slither off and gloat somewhere else, will you?
Excuse my brother's ill mood, Legate. This new Carthaginian wine doesn't agree with him, if you know what I mean. I am Lucius Aurelius Cotta. This is our sister, Aurelia. We're glad to make your acquaintance. We were just talking about you anyway.
Of course we were.
You were speaking to me in good terms, I hope.
We were discussing how you saved my brother's life and became the hero of the Asia campaign.
Everyone knows the value of a great leader like Marcus Aurelius Cotta. It would have been a crime not to save him.
Yet my son Gaius was not valuable enough to be saved.
You were Gaius' mother? Though I knew him only briefly, I considered him a friend. His death pains me, but there was nothing I could do.
I apologize, Legate. They told me you had become close, despite how briefly you knew each other.
Julius Caesar's broken sword. I brought this home after your son died. It's the blade of his sword.
Oh, it's broken. This sword was my father's. It was called Croquet Morse. You were friends with him, weren't you? However briefly. Why don't you keep it? I think I still have the old schematics for it. I'll have a servant bring them to your villa tomorrow.
Ooh. There's something to draw your ire, Marcus?
Other than saving his life?
Lucius!
Oh, please, let him talk, Aurelia. Let everyone witness the failure of Marcus Aurelius Cotta. The man who got himself captured and let his nephew die. The consul who had to be saved by a homeless runt.
Speak frankly, I think none of this is your fault. Saving your life was an honor.
Rest assured, my brother is thankful for that, Legate.
But how about the weather these days? A bit bleak, isn't it?
Really? Are you so eager to display your shallowness?
I am interested in heavenly phenomena.
Well, I'm not.
This guy. Is that my... that's my Patronus, that must be.
Salve. I've heard a lot about you. I am Marcus Tullius Cicero.
I've heard a little about you as well.
Is that so? Few people beyond the political circles would know of me. My reputation depends largely on who's talking.
Is that true for everyone?
To varying degrees, I am sure.
What do you do? Cicero.
I'm an advocate. I defend those whom others seek to incriminate. But I'm sure a career soldier such as you would find the topic rather boring.
Why I would want to do this? We're in Rome, and that's his entire purpose, so not at all. I'm fascinated by legal matters.
Indeed. I suppose that makes sense, especially considering the predicament you're in.
Are these all friends of Lucius?
That depends what you mean by friend. Your Patronus, Lucullus, is a consul.
Lucullus.
Many people would claim to be his friend. There's a difference between knowing someone and merely knowing someone's name, though. Are we friends?
Well, at least I know your name.
True, my friend. You know my name.
That is absolutely unnecessary. I'd spend it all on farmlands. People need their food.
Indeed they do. But what good is food if it's obtained by illegitimate means? What do you think about it, Legate?
You walked in an ambush. Clearly my scouts have failed me.
Fortunately, I know you are good at handling ambushes.
Spoils of war. Unaccounted for and untaxed. Should they be used for development to feed the people of Rome? A simple question.
Depends on the situation. If the people are starving, sure, but we should also punish the person who committed the crime.
A fairly strong answer, I'd say. No matter how much you try to legislate, the situation at hand will defy your expectations.
Meet Senators Marcus Porcius Cato and Marcus Tullius Cicero, who will be acting as your attorney tomorrow. At least I hope so.
Unfortunately, things have developed differently, my friend. I've decided to represent Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola instead.
So who will be my lawyer then?
Certainly not me. My skill is in building a solid defense, not in prosecuting. I have looked at the evidence, though. It is very solid. You should have no trouble representing yourself.
Certainly an interesting turn of events. But I've heard you talking disfavorably about the Vitellius brothers before. How do you justify defending them?
What I justify hardly matters. I seek to represent them to the best of my ability, so justice can be served.
I don't want to offend him. That's what the system requires.
Precisely. The rules exist for a reason. One must understand the reasons to challenge them.
Rules should never invalidate the reasons for their existence. Morality is beyond law. Legate, what guidelines did you follow when you had to decide the fate of that Triarchus? Why did you let him live?
There's no evidence to prove his guilt. I will not take a man's life on a mere suspicion.
Our feelings often point towards the moral path. I wonder, exactly how utilitarian are you in your thinking? I heard you had the opportunity to bribe a hired guard protecting a spy.
Stop interrogating the man, Cato. Not everyone must adhere to your high standards.
Alright, Cicero, I did have that option.
Yet you did not take it.
I had better options.
No doubt those options were cheaper.
Well, gentlemen, this discussion has become too hypothetical for my tastes. I bid you a good day.
Wale, Cicero. See you tomorrow.
One final question, before I retire as well.
You and your questions, Cato.
I believe if you wanted, you could enter the Pomerium fully armed. Why didn't you?
That rule is as old as Rome itself. Disobeying it would be a disrespect to our society.
Indeed. In betraying Rome, you would betray yourself. This has been an interesting conversation, gentlemen. I thank you for it. But now, with your permission, I shall leave. Welate.
Wale, Cato.
Well, it didn't go as planned.
You look tired. Shall we leave?
I'm exhausted, no sleep.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Certainly it was fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let us rest now. Tomorrow is a big day.
I have a feeling we're gonna get talked around tomorrow. Oh. Cool. I think we're gonna certainly be talked around tomorrow in the Senate.
As per today's augury, a specific issue stood out as being of utmost importance. I bring forth the following relatio, the result of which is to be decided per discussionem, and as usual before the sun sets. The complaint is brought forth by Lucius Licinius Lucullus concerning alleged wrongdoing and infamous conduct by Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola and his brother Vibius Vitellius Lurco. Are both parties present?
I am present.
As am I.
Weird that Vitellius Lurco would be here to do the talking. Where is Scaevola? He is the accused.
Are both parties represented?
I shall represent the defendant.
And I shall be making the case against the defendant.
Very well. For the benefit of all present, would the owner of the complaint restate their accusation?
We've discovered that the defendant, Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola, has been funding and protecting piracy in the Mediterranean, thereby supporting Rome's enemies.
Found out. So you do have evidence. Interesting. Do you accept the accusation, Kikaro?
I see no reason to comment at this stage. May I humbly remind the Magistra, he who makes the claim has the burden of proof. We shall rest until sufficient proof is presented to eliminate all shadow of a doubt.
I was just trying to be helpful. The defendant is always at a disadvantage.
I'm sure you mean usually and not always.
As you wish. Present your evidence.
The crates meant to supply the enemy had his seal on them. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean they're his. His ships were bringing supplies to the armies of Mithridates. I have witnessed it firsthand.
And no one else witnessed this event, I assume. How convenient.
The evidence is material, Kikaro. There is no room for interpretation. The crates do carry Scaevola's signature.
I have investigated them myself. I concur. Is there anyone who would contest my findings?
I admit, the evidence looks damning.
So, do the defendants admit their guilt? Are the Vitelli guilty of all crimes stated or implied?
Of course not. For starters, the evidence proves only treason.
Only? What else is needed to declare this man infamous?
Do not interrupt the speaker.
No harm done. My dear friend Cato is correct. The evidence is enough to declare one infamous. That one is Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola. Nowhere in any findings can you conjure the ability to implicate my client, Vibius Vitellius Lurco.
Oh. True. If they're brothers, they're guilty by association doesn't work. Treason is a serious crime. Okay.
That, of course, depends on the nature of the treason. But that's largely irrelevant.
That is literally the topic of our discussion, Kikero. How in the world can you say it's irrelevant?
There simply is no case. Vitellius Scaevola cannot be punished.
Your rhetorical games grow tiresome. You have admitted the evidence is rock solid.
Let me guess, he's
This
dead.
should be interesting.
Why can't he be punished?
Simply because the man is dead. Therefore, he cannot be accused. Therefore, the case is null and void.
Senators, people of Rome, of course the evidence is clear. I accept my brother's guilt.
What?
He's a stain on our family name. A stain we will quite possibly never be able to cleanse. You know I love my family. I love my brother more than anything else in this world. Almost anything. The only thing I love more than my own brother is Rome itself. And thus, with sorrow in my heart, I was forced to take his life.
Oh, I see.
Who boasts of fratricide before the whole Senate?
It is not a boast. It is my solemn duty to deliver the news. I am a man with the highest of morals. Someone who places the well-being of Rome over his own flesh and blood. Step outside, senators. You will witness my brother hanging from the old tree. Let him rot there. Do not take him down. Let it be a warning to all those who would threaten Rome, placing their petty family matters over the well-being of our great republic. Let it be known that Julius Vitellius Lurco will never tolerate treason, not even from his own blood.
A decision cannot be reached. This case is non-existent.
Well, we got outmaneuvered.
That bastard outmaneuvered us. We underestimated how cold-blooded he truly is. This is not good, though. He turned impending defeat into a major victory. We will need a new plan. Go home and lay low for now. Your family needs you.
Well, that didn't work out. Get these skills done.
Domine, we've been awaiting your return.
I know you.
You have a good memory for faces. The name is Marcellus.
You need to expect me.
We have been informed by Vitellius Lurco that the ownership of this villa was transferred to you. As per his orders, we kept the area safe until your arrival. Now that you're back, with your permission, we will take our leave.
You may leave.
Valete.
My son? You're back! And with Cineros. Oh, it's so good to see you both safe.
It's good to see you, Domina.
No reason to anger the man.
I've missed you so much. You look great. Did you lose some weight? Are you eating well? Has he been eating well, Cineros?
He has, Domina.
Missed you so much, Mother.
Do tell your mother how much you missed her.
Very much.
You were always my favorite. Don't tell your sister. Tell me about the war. I heard some of your friends died there. Killed by pirates. How did you survive?
Through skill and through luck.
So am I. You can't guess how glad I am. But did you like the life in the Legion? Do you want to be a career soldier?
I like the political side of it. Killing doesn't appeal to me.
Just like your father.
Domina, with all due respect, I guess the Legatus has his own questions. Am I wrong?
How did Scalarius people treat you?
Oh, they were polite, mostly. Except for the fact they wanted me confined to this villa. I guess having me walking around the streets was too much of a risk. Once you were out of the picture. He had no reason to antagonize me, though.
You really think they would have killed me?
I do. And Aculus agreed. It was a sinister plan to take over our family. But now you're here, and everything will be fine.
Where's Lavinia? Is she supposed to be here?
They told me your sister's husband is dead. She should be free by now. I wonder if they did something to her.
Just happy to see my mother alive and well.
It's good to have you home. And for it to be our home again. Now that you're back, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, listen to me. You just got here. Go on, take some time to settle in. Let me know when you're ready to get to work.
Okay.
Your mother has started catching me up on how the vineyards have been going since we left. The harvest was better than expected. That is good news, of course, but it also means we have a problem. One of our grapes produced a particularly good wine. It's an opulent vintage with a smooth finish. Quite frankly, Domine, it is one of the best wines I have ever tasted.
Why are you surprised? Are wines produced by pure chance?
Winemaking is not an exact science. We do follow recipes, but we are subject to the whims of Dionysus. Every now and then he favors you, and you may produce a wine of this caliber.
So Dionysus is like, I think this is like the god of fertility or something like that, of harvests or of wine, something of that nature. So essentially what they're saying, that it's a good, if you have good omens, you'll be favored and you produce it. Opulent, what does that even mean?
It means the wine has a rich and smooth taste. An opulent wine is a bold wine.
I see.
Do not worry. Wine terminology can be weird and obscure. You will get used to it in time.
Really don't mean that?
Oh, but I do. And you know I've tasted a lot of excellent wines throughout my life. This wine ranks among the best of the best.
Alright, I thought this was good news. What's the catch?
The question is what we shall do with this wine. It's certainly worth more than what we normally sell for. It's the best kind of problem to have.
Okay.
It might be a good idea to visit some of the merchants in the market.
I think I'll be heading that direction today anyway. I could talk to the vineyards while I'm there.
Before you leave, there's a small thing we have to decide. A good wine deserves a good name. What should we name this one?
Well, it needs a noble name. How about Minerva's Wisdom?
Minerva's Wisdom it is. A good name, and not without a touch of irony. Very well. That being settled, you should go and talk to the wine merchants.
Finally, we're back home. Can you believe it?
I had no doubts. You've made everyone proud, and this victory is cause for celebration. I shall cook today.
I don't completely understand how we were allowed to take the villa back.
Our legal system has its own intricacies, which no one but people like Kikaro understand. I'm sure the powers that be worked their magic.
What should I do now?
I don't know. It's your house. Sit back and relax and let your Sir-Wee handle things? Do bear in mind that managing an estate is no simple task.
What?
Now that your father is no longer with us, you will have to find a way to generate income. I think we should focus on the wine business. There used to be a lot of money in your vineyards.
Okay, valet.
Domine.
Do you need me?
It's so good to have you back home safe and sound.
Looking. Anyone I could talk to?
Domine. Have a nice day.
But didn't we come in with someone?
Do you need me?
Didn't we come in with, there she is. Let's say, didn't we come in with Daenerys?
How is it?
What are you wearing?
You don't like the dress?
Contrary, it looks cute on you.
Is it normal in Rome for important people to make such shameless advances on their guards?
Not normal in Rome to have such striking guards.
Is good we are not normal then.
This is true. So is Rome everything you were hoping?
In some ways it is. In others, it is not. City is big. I have never seen anything like it. And there are so many things to buy, so many different people. I love that. But there is a strange way people talk to me. Not because I am foreign, I think, but because I am woman. That I don't like.
Will you be staying in my villa?
I would like that, if it is fine with you. This villa is amazing. So many statues and fancy carpets. I love your garden. It's so lush and green. And trickle of fountain calms me down.
Have a good day.
I'm so glad to be rid of those lictors. The way they looked at me.
Okay, so we have to...
feed the horses.
I am? Is there something I should know?
Don't walk behind the grey mare. A few weeks ago, she kicked a stable boy and nearly killed him.
I'll be careful.
Hold on, do I have to do this in a particular order? Market, Senate. Go to the Senate first.
Good, you're here. Let us begin. First, tell me what you thought about my question.
Can you remind me of the question again?
Certainly. I wanted you to think about the meaning of life. Yours or mine, it doesn't matter. What do you think the meaning of life is? The purpose of it?
Survival.
Isn't that a bit pointless? Do we live to live?
Sometimes the Lannister beats you. Don't know why. The reason is not for you to know.
I disagree. It is a bad Lannister who beats the Serwis for no apparent reason. Knowing the reason makes you stronger. To understand reasons, we must understand causes. We must know the root cause of all there is and all there will ever be, the stones of which the universe is made, or what we call the first principle.
Like distance and stance?
In a way, those may be the first principles of fighting. Your distance and your stance change based on your tools and foes, but they are common elements to all fighting.
Sounds likely, but what is that principle?
No one really knows what the first principle is, but thinking about it is the first step in finding one's purpose. Opinions are divided. Some say the first principle is water. Others say it's wind, fire, or earth. What do you think the first principle might be?
Water flows, but Nicole and I have seen it turn to ice.
Do not think of it as water itself. Anaximandros says the first principle is fluid and water-like. It is the indeterminate boundless. He calls it the realm of the infinite, which is in eternal motion. When things exist, they become finite. But when they cease to exist, they go back to the water of infinity.
You are like the basilisk. Our gaze makes things solid.
An interesting take on the tale of the basilisk. Indeed. Perhaps our actions turn our ideas into stone.
I've seen wind knocking down houses.
It is not about strength. Anaximenes believes the wind is the soul of the world, because it is the wind that makes us breathe and live. He also posits that all other elements are derived from air. Fire happens when wind blows too fast, yet water happens when the air is too slow.
Okay. Talking about the breath that gives life to all.
Maybe. I don't think a rock has breath, though.
Mountains crack, fire comes out of the earth. It's true.
It's more about the inherent movement of fire than the destructive force thereof. Heraclitus says fire is change, and as such, the only thing that is always the same. Everything changes. Nothing ever is. We are all in the process of becoming, and never stop. Change is the only common element in the world.
If fire is changed, doesn't that mean everything is made of fire?
It doesn't, but it means fire is in everything.
I mean, that's what I wanted to say. Everything comes out of the earth indeed.
Or maybe nothing comes out of anything. Parmenides said, nothing can ever be seen in the process of becoming. Things always just are. A process of change is just a trick of our senses. At any given moment, things are stationary.
That's true. Because if you have a snapshot, that snapshot, everything is stationary when you're measuring it, because in order to take an idea of that moment, everything has to be still. Okay, that makes sense.
If your senses are not reliable, how could you ever know?
Any one of those could be the answer.
And that is what Empedocles says. He believes any or all of those can be the answer. It depends on the situation or person. But I believe that to be a non-answer.
Does sound like he doesn't have his own ideas.
I agree.
What do you believe the answer is?
Who knows? Thinking about the first principle is a way of thinking about the world. And only by knowing the world clearly can you know yourself.
And by knowing myself, I can know others.
He who knows himself and others can surely make better decisions. Only then you can trust your actions. Only then can you be a good man. Only then can you be free.
But I'm a free citizen now.
Are you, though? A man who is not allowed to do what he wants. Can such a man be truly free?
No one can leap over mountains no matter how much they want to.
It seems that even for the free man there are constraints. You may pursue your own happiness, but when it comes at the cost of someone else's, can you be called a good man?
Everyone has a different story. Everyone has a different idea of happiness.
True. Yet perhaps there is a commonality to all forms of happiness. Happiness is the absence of misery. If you do not know how to make people happy, then you can try to eliminate misery. By doing that, you can be a good man.
Can he who's not happy bring happiness to others?
You can try. And the Bestia Tabat I know excels at overcoming difficult obstacles. It is your goal in life, Bestia. Just like your sister, you are partly stuck in the realm of ideas. You will not be complete until you find her, or find her not.
Probably so is spoiled, but her price was twice as high as mine.
You are a child, Bestia. No one will hold you to account for what you thought back then.
I know. I still miss her.
It is only natural. Who knows whose Serwa your sister is now?
Get a particular birthmark on her cheek. Do you think we can find her?
Do you want me to be honest?
Virtuous man speaks the truth.
What matters is not if you will find her, but what you will do if you find her.
You're giving me a lot to think about.
Then I have succeeded as Magister. I can only ask the right questions. It is you who should find the answers.
That was really cool. Well, Claudia must meet Bestia here. Claudia, right? Claudia must meet Bestia at Camp Marti. Okay.
I see him. By fire. Talking to his friend.
Let's find a way to let him down easy.
You came. And you have brought Deanira.
Calidar is showing me around. This city is big. Bigger than I thought. We have seen many dresses. Some of them actually pink.
Coming here was a good idea. It was nice to be away from the bustle of the streets.
Didn't I tell you so? You said you didn't like the city. But out here, you can run and jump and be free.
What is this place? Why are you here always, Tabat?
The Field of Mars. It's like a holy place for warriors.
A place for your war god? Why do you have so many gods? People are difficult enough. Gods are worse.
You speak truth. Perhaps our souls are lonely, and that's why we need many gods.
There! Stop right there! You're coming with us! Please, do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Do you know these Landakai?
Julius?
They told me you were back in the city. I did not believe it. I do not know what kind of god possessed you, for I do not know which of these gods is more foolish.
Mars watches over us here. Mind your words.
Why have you followed me here?
You are a criminal. You are a disgrace to our family. Because of what you've done, we all will be infamous.
Is that you talking or Father talking through you?
Only I can speak for our family now.
I didn't mean to kill him. It was an accident.
Kill whom?
Accident? It was an accident. When you drop a jug of water and it shatters, that is an accident. When you push your own husband down the stairs and shatter his skull, well, I believe they call that murder.
You're doing Father's dirty work now.
Father is dead. I think he died of grief because his only daughter acts as if she's a man.
Or maybe he died because his only son's a little bitch.
Your tongue is as sharp as your blade. Indeed, I don't like playing with swords and bows, but at least I don't murder innocent men.
Best yet, meet Elois, my little brother. He's here to get me arrested.
Arrested? For what?
She killed a man.
I kill men all the time. When they deserve it.
Rome does not look kindly on women who kill men, regardless of how much the man deserved it.
Deserved? I didn't realize marriage was a capital offense.
He was treating me like a servant. He forbade me to practice archery and broke the bow you gave me. I wasn't even allowed to leave the villa without him.
He was your husband. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and you're still not allowed to kill him. Julia, please. I do not want to see you hurt. Surrender peacefully.
That sounds like a threat, little man. Threatening the wrong person can get you killed.
What? Are you her gladiator lover or something? What do you mean?
Usually, what I say.
No one's dying today. You know I'm innocent.
Innocent? I can't even recognize you. My sister was a kind and happy person who always...
Who always protected you while Father forced you to become something you're not?
That you did, didn't you? In return, it was always you who was beaten. That wasn't fair. But life isn't.
You owe me. Now it's your turn.
Very well. I will try to convince Mother. We're leaving, men. Julia, stay out of sight.
You handled that very well.
Why did he leave?
He wants to protect me.
Yet it looks like he doesn't know how.
This is true. He does not know how. I could see that being a battlefield at one point. We're going to do all the missions in this episode, so it's going to be a little longer episode. I want to get through all the stuff in this one.
It was the most unbelievable and bold
News
political
from Greece.
maneuver I've ever
The
witnessed.
army of consuls.
I still don't understand. To kill one's family is the worst act imaginable. He is obligated to defend his family, even against the law.
Yet he seems to have turned it to an advantage. The people praise his selfless devotion to our law and justice and to our republic.
It makes no sense at all.
This is true. Makes no sense.
Special discount for Alway. What brings you to the land of wine today? If wine is what you seek, you have come to the right place. My wine is much better than those of Marcellus Vipsanius.
Land of wine.
That's what I call it. This area of the market belongs to the Collegium Venariorum. We are an association of all the wine merchants in Rome.
Well, where? My family's done much business with you.
Oh, indeed. I recognize you now. Welcome to my stall, then. Are you looking to sell?
What's so special about this person, Marcus
He prioritizes
Pompeius?
customer satisfaction at the cost of morality and the law. He lies, cheats, and threatens. In the end, he acquires the best vintages.
You all produce wine?
Some of us do, but many of us purchase wine from vineyards and sell it here at the market.
I have some wine in need of a buyer. Perhaps you're interested in making a good deal.
I would be very interested. But the rules state that I have to call the other merchants for a tasting. We each must have an equal opportunity.
Gotta run and get ready for the best tasting of your life.
Exciting!
We'll take it.
This is brilliant. Exquisite. The best wine I have tasted this year. You know, your father and my father used to trade, but I do not believe they ever achieved this level of excellence.
I do not know, Quintus. It does have a harsh finish.
I would call it nutty. Some really good wine, though. I could sell this for years. Domine, would you consider a 5-year deal? I'm willing to buy a 5th of your stock this year, and another 5th next year, and so on. For each batch, I would offer you 1,000 denarii.
I won't risk that. Tastes change, and demands change with them. I'll pay you 3,500 denarii. Sure, it is less than you'd get from Claudius over 5 years, but I want all of this wine now.
I agree, it is a good wine. I will buy all of your stock right now, and I'll pay 4,000 denarii, more than Quintus is willing to part with. Half now, and half when I take delivery.
Why should I accept your offer?
I am an honest trader, Legate. My father used to deal with your father before either of us was born. I will sell your wine to the best clients and pay for all of it up front.
Okay. Then why should I accept payment in installments?
The deal favors us both. I pay less now, and you have greater profits in the long term.
Your offer is generous, but will you honor it?
It's good money. More than what Quintus pays, and you'll get paid as soon as I take delivery. In exchange, your wine will be sold at the best tavern in Rome. It's an offer you cannot refuse.
This guy is a bit shady.
I'm sure you've made the right choice, and that you know what's good for you.
That as the remaining stock of this vintage dwindles, demand will soon exceed supply. This is a good idea. But I'm also storing the wine. If it doesn't sell, I can be stuck with the wine. This guy, I could feel like we're going to get swindled. This is just a straight exchange. Oh. Can I save it? No, I can't. Let's see what Gordius says.
Your business acumen is impressive. I agree to your terms and revise the offer. I shall pay you 6,000 denarii over the next 5 years.
Preposterous. You can't make a deal with these fools. Mark my words, you will regret this. I give you one last chance to change your mind.
I don't like your tone. Get out of my sight before I lose my temper.
You have missed out on a great business venture.
I will make the arrangements at once. You will receive the first installment soon.
I like this offer. What can I say?
Wide selection of wines from Greece and Africa. Wines for every taste and every budget.
So you found me again. But you're a civilian now. Here you are, just another customer in my smithy.
Favorite grumpy old iron pounder.
Only because you've never met any of my competitors, I'm sure. I don't suppose you're in the market for some carpentry tools?
I let my surveyor handle such things, but I'll tell them to purchase all metal tools here from now on.
A fine gift for this humble smith. For my service to your legion, I assume. Much obliged. Tell you what, I do have something here you might be interested in. Have you ever heard the legend of the Ankylia?
Think not. Enlighten me.
Well, I'm not much of a storyteller, but they say the shield of Mars fell from the sky during the reign of Numa Pompeius. In his wisdom, the king ordered 11 copies to be forged. They were stored alongside the original in the Temple of Mars. I have come into possession of one of them.
You wish to sell me a replica? Is this a replica?
Or perhaps it's the original. Who knows? But you see, even a replica, ancient and storied as it is worth a small fortune. If nothing else, it's an exquisite artifact of a bygone age.
Who were the original? I believe the legends prescribe that Rome will only stand as long as the ancile is preserved.
Then, if you buy it from me, you should take good care of it.
Why are you managing this all yourself? Shouldn't you have an assistant?
You are as savvy in business as you are in warfare, I see. I do have an assistant, my daughter. She is all I can afford. But today she is with her teacher learning history or Greek or some other such high-minded nonsense. The hope is if he fills her head with enough such drivel, she will find a wealthy husband so she'll never have to peddle my pots and pans again.
Why not? I will purchase a replica.
A fair price, I should say. Very well. The Ankylia is yours. I cannot guarantee that it once belonged to a god, but you have my word that it is a good shield, and it will serve you well should you ever use it in combat.
Sectus is the man. And that's why we will buy that from him. Okay, the debauchery is over here. Anyone else I can talk to? No. Okay, let's go see what is going on with our boy. Before we end this act.
You came.
Most accurate statement of fact.
If I say dumb things, blame the wine.
But I really didn't expect you to appear here, of all places.
I have a knack for appearing unannounced and unexpected.
That you do indeed. And thank the twice-born god. Woman, bring us a fresh jug. My friend is still sober, and that's simply not acceptable. Now, what are we drinking to?
Honor and duty.
All for the glory of Rome. That hit the spot. Another one?
My cup is empty and I find that question insulting.
I apologize. I shall never insult you again. Another! Keep it pouring! And then I said, well, what can you say in that situation? Obviously, I asked, is that really a goat? Or a sorry excuse for a tent pole? It was. I still can't help but laugh. You know what people say in Africa? Wine makes the soul come out of you. You're all right, my friend. You're all right.
Thank you, you're not so bad yourself.
I'm glad you came. Friendships that develop in war don't always stand the test of peacetime.
You've been to many lands, haven't you?
More than I could count. I've walked on so many different kinds of soil, seen so many faces, and broken so many hearts.
Wine's really good.
Marcellus Vipsenius is the best. Some say he's working on the recipes of the legendary Margot himself. Others say he smuggles his wine from Carthage.
Ever thought of settling down?
An amusing notion. Should I also get a wife and make a few little brats of my own?
A couple of tiny copies of you run around, sounds fine to me.
Not me. I'm an adventurer at heart, and an adventurer never rests. Sure, life is full of pain and misery, but it's also full of beauty and wonder. You should endure the former and live for the latter. There's so much to experience still. To people like us, settling down is like death. Something you don't long for, nor expect.
Another jug, Domini.
That will be all, Soa.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you, Domina. May we perhaps retreat to a private chamber?
Like your handsome vintage keeps attracting women.
I know. It's a blessing and a curse. Out with it, woman. What do you want?
I think I am with child. You are the father of my child. Future child. Don't you remember me, Aquilinos?
What?
Is that true?
I don't know. I've never seen this woman in my life.
You told me you would not remember me. Afterwards. And I respected that in a way, but now I need your help. Marcellus Vipsanius doesn't like his girls giving birth. He's a cruel man. I remember how kind you were to me. My child deserves better. Our child. Even if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I want our child safe and away from this shithole. Will you save me?
You can purchase her if you want.
Indeed. Perhaps we should inform the Kensos.
Quit bothering the guests, look here. These jugs will not deliver themselves.
Help me, please.
Quickly, Sour.
The night has taken an unusual turn.
Do you really not remember her? Do you really not remember her?
I don't. But I do tend to forget some things when I'm drunk. Still, I find it hard to believe I'd forget the mother of my own child.
You think she was telling the truth?
Maybe. Well, not entirely. Times like these, I wish Calida were here. That woman has a knack for spotting a lie.
I don't think you should get involved.
Probably not. But what if it really is my child?
What will you do?
I don't know what to make of any of this. I'll have to think.
Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Thank you, my friend. That means a lot. You go. I suddenly have much to think about.
Okay. Let's talk to our mother. The surgeon over here? Who's this guy? Is he just a surgeon, or is that his actual
Is
name?
your back giving you trouble? Salve, Legate. Are you looking for medical supplies?
You know I'm a legatus.
The world may be large, but Rome is smaller than you'd think in some ways. People talk, and you are mildly famous. Tell me what you need, and I shall provide you with everything.
Do you heal wounds and injuries? Why are you not doing this on the battlefield?
Every healer I know dreams of going to war with the legions. But bones do not only break in battle. Life in Rome can sometimes be a battlefield.
That's true. Charge people denarii for healing in Rome?
I do not charge for the act of healing. I charge for the items I use. My potions and bandages do not come cheap. It would
Makes
have been
sense.
fortuitous if the gods simply granted such materials. But healing is the art of mortal hands, and mortal hands need denarii.
What do you actually sell?
I have some linen I can spare. You could buy some if you want to make bandages. This bottle could also prove to be interesting for you. It's a concoction that works against the effects of many poisons.
Ease the symptoms of poison. Is poison a problem people commonly face in Rome?
The machinations of the senatorial class can occasionally turn very bitter indeed. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that.
Will you buy some for me then?
Good. You should make sure to consult a trained healer in mixing this, however. The wrong application could turn ugly. Of
You want
that,
him?
I have plenty. How many do you need? Linen is not so difficult to find, but if you do...
Okay. I have 15. I'm fine with that. Anti-venom is nice. Alright, let's end this chapter.
How is it? Is everything well, dear?
Our standing is much improved thanks to my achievements in Greece. It's time to begin restoring the villa and expanding our business.
They told me Lucullus is your patronus now. That means our family reputation will be restored.
That and more.
Lucius, Liliana. It's so good to see you again, Mother. And brother, you're back.
Isn't that a beautiful sight?
It is.
You are the patriarch of this family now. The well-being of it is your primary concern. The villa is yours. All of your rights are restored. Congratulations.
I don't know how we can ever repay you, Lucius.
There's no need to repay anything. You of all people should know that, Claudiana. This was not a transaction.
Still, I'll find a way to repay you.
I'll keep that in mind.
Is that it? But what if they...
Don't worry, Claudiana. No one can harm your family as long as I am alive. Everything will be fine.
Well, that's just does not bode well. Five years pass by. Alright, so that'll be it for this episode, guys. We will head into Act 2 in the next episode, so thanks for hanging out. Go and leave a like below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later.